Have you ever found yourself trapped in routine? Waking, working, scrolling, sleeping? Feeling a quiet restlessness at your core? You watch stories unfold on screen, heroes summoned by destiny, characters who answer a call that transforms their world, and a small, insistent voice whispers, "Why not me?" Yet in real life, we're rarely handed a glowing sword or a map to hidden treasure. Instead, we navigate appointments, bills, and obligations, wondering if our days hold any deeper meaning. What if I told you that your own life already follows the shape of mythic quests, and that you, too, can step into the role of protagonist? Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, drawn from the world's great myths, reveals a universal blueprint for transformation. It shows how ordinary people, facing doubt and danger, can emerge renewed, bearing gifts to benefit others. Over the next 25 minutes, we'll unpack each stage of this timeless map and discover how to see your challenges not as mundane hurdles, but as sacred thresholds on the path to becoming the hero of your own story. Joseph Campbell, 1904 to 1987, was an American scholar whose life became a pilgrimage across continents and cultures in search of the core patterns that unite human stories. From Parisian libraries poring over Ovid to interviews with Native American storytellers, Campbell distilled the essence of these tales into what he called the monomyth, or hero's journey. His landmark book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, revealed that myths, from Gilgamesh to King Arthur, share a common arc. The hero departs, faces trials, gains insight, and returns home transformed. Campbell's genius was showing that mythic structures aren't relics of the past, but living guides for modern life, reflecting our deepest struggles and triumphs. Filmmakers like George Lucas credited Campbell when crafting Star Wars, and his ideas have inspired writers, therapists, and spiritual seekers ever since. Campbell taught that by recognizing this universal narrative, we can navigate our own challenges with purpose, courage, and creativity, stepping consciously into roles that expand not just our lives, but the lives of everyone around us. Every hero's journey begins with the call to adventure, a spark that pulls us beyond familiar shores. In myth, it might be a mysterious letter, an ominous dream, or the arrival of a magical mentor. In your life, it could be an uneasy feeling in your job, an invitation to learn a new skill, or the jarring end of a relationship. Perhaps you read a book that ignites your imagination, or you face a crisis that demolishes old assumptions. That call often arrives disguised as restlessness or dissatisfaction, but carries a hidden gift, the chance to grow. Though thrilling, it also stirs anxiety. Will you ignore its whisper and cling to comfort? Or will you say yes, packing curiosity and courage for the journey ahead? Recognizing and answering your personal call is the first bold act that transforms you from passive observer into engaged protagonist of your own unfolding epic. Naturally, we hesitate. The refusal of the call is when fear, doubt, or obligation convinces us to stay put. I'm not ready. I have too much to lose. What will others think? Luke Skywalker initially refused Obi-Wan's plea, and Frodo balked at carrying the ring. In our lives, we delay career changes, postpone creative projects, or resist personal growth, hiding behind self-judgment or busyness. Thankfully, myths offer the antidote, the meeting with the mentor. This guide, whether an experienced friend, an insightful mentor, a transformative book, or an inner flash of clarity, provides tools, encouragement, and perspective. That mentor might be a coach who sees your potential, a podcast that shifts your worldview, or a supportive family member who believes in your dream. By embracing this guidance, you quiet refusal's chorus and equip yourself with wisdom, confidence, and practical strategies to step through the first doorway of your adventure. Once you summon the courage, you cross the threshold, leaving familiar routines behind and entering the new terrain of change. For some, this means enrolling in night classes. For others, it's moving to a new city, launching a side business, or ending a stifling relationship. Immediately, you face tests, allies, and enemies, obstacles that challenge your resolve, friends who rally to your side, and adversaries, both external and internal, who seek to thwart your quest. Consider a first public performance. Technical glitches test your composure. Supportive bandmates become allies. Self-doubt and the fear of rejection are enemies you battle from within. These encounters refine your skills and clarify your purpose. Each test teaches you something vital: how to adapt when plans fall apart, which collaborators truly share your vision, and how to distinguish constructive critique from destructive negativity. By leaning on allies and learning from each trial, rather than fleeing back to the comfort zone, you grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your heroic path. After navigating initial trials, the hero approaches the inmost cave, the calm before the storm, where the greatest challenge looms. It might be the nerve-wracking prep before a major pitch, the quiet dread before confronting a personal trauma, or the solitude preceding your first solo exhibit. This stage calls for reflection and preparation. You review lessons learned, gather resources, and mentally steel yourself for the ordeal ahead. In myth, this corresponds to Hercules entering the underworld, or Harry Potter standing before the mirror of Erist. In your own life, it's that tense moment when you stand at the precipice of transformation, ready to face your deepest fears head-on. Embrace this time to seek counsel, refine your skills, and affirm your commitment. The depth of your preparation here will determine your resilience when you finally confront the heart of your quest. The ordeal is the hero's climactic confrontation, often portrayed as a life or death battle with monsters, tyrants, or fate. In real life, it's a crisis that shakes your foundations, a health scare, a career collapse, a betrayal that cuts to the bone. It may feel like everything you've built could crumble in an instant. Yet this crucible is also the birthplace of transformation. By facing your fear, publishing that vulnerable work, risking financial insecurity, or navigating compassionate but painful confrontations, you prove your commitment to growth. Emerging from the ordeal, you gain new perspective. You see not just your own shadows, but the wellspring of courage and resilience within. This alchemical moment, where suffering catalyzes strength, marks the end of the old self and the birth of the hero who can carry forward the quest. Having survived the ordeal, the hero claims the reward, the boon, insight, or gift earned through perseverance. In myth, it's the arcane wisdom, elixir of life, or golden fleece. In your journey, it might be a renewed sense of self-worth, mastery of a vital skill, healed relationships, or a business breakthrough. This transformation ripples outward. Decisions flow more smoothly, creative energy surges, and you carry a palpable confidence born of past trials overcome. Yet Campbell cautioned against clinging too tightly to the reward. It's not a trophy, but a seed for future growth. The true value of the reward lies in its power to fuel the road back, to inform your next steps, deepen your contributions to others, and integrate newfound wisdom into everyday life. After claiming the reward, the hero must return, bringing the treasure home to share its benefits. But a final test, the resurrection, often stands in the way. Think of Neo's face-off with Agent Smith, or Luke Skywalker's confrontation on the Death Star. In daily life, the resurrection manifests as a last crucible, a boardroom showdown, a public unveiling of your creative work, or living by your new values when old pressures resurface. This final ordeal proves whether you've truly internalized your transformation. Will you revert to old patterns under stress, or stand firm in your evolved identity? Triumph here signifies genuine change and readies you to bring your elixir back to the world. At the journey's end, the hero returns with the elixir, the gift that heals, inspires, or uplifts the community. In myth, It's Prometheus's fire for humanity, or King Arthur's healing grail. In real life, your elixir might be the mentorship you offer others, innovative solutions you bring to long-standing problems, or simply the inspiration your story provides. Campbell emphasized that the hero's journey isn't self-centered. Its ultimate purpose is collective benefit. By sharing your insights through teaching, writing, community projects, or living authentically, you spark new adventures in those around you, perpetuating the cycle of growth and transformation that nourishes all. Now it's your turn to chart this map on your own life. In your journal, sketch each stage. Where did your call to adventure arise? How did fearful refusal hold you back? And who served as your mentor? What landmark tests have shaped you, and where lies your inmost cave? Identify the ordeal you need to face and envision the reward that awaits. Then, plan your road back and anticipate the resurrection that will prove your transformation. Finally, ask, what elixir will I share? This exercise isn't a rigid template, but a lens, a way to see your experiences as a meaningful narrative. With this awareness, every setback becomes an invitation to grow, every success a moment to integrate your gains, and every choice an opportunity to step deeper into your heroic role. Thank you for joining me on this journey.